I don't know how you're going to react to what I'm about to tell you, but the moment you pressed play on this, something inside me whispered that you were meant to hear this from me right now, in this exact moment. And maybe you'll feel your heartbeat shift a little. Maybe your breath will slow for a moment. Because what I'm about to say isn't small, and it isn't something I can hide any longer. It's family news, but not the kind that stays inside palaces or behind closed doors. It's something I want you to hear first, from my voice, not from anyone else. And before I say it, I want you to feel close to me, like you're standing right here, like my words are traveling straight into your heart. Because what I'm sharing with you is personal, more personal than you think. I've been carrying this inside me for days, trying to decide whether I should tell you or wait. But every time I tried to stay quiet, I felt this small pull in my chest, like I owed you the truth, like you deserved to know, like your heart and my heart were already tied into this news, in a way I can't fully explain, and maybe you already feel it, that strange mix of curiosity and softness, like something important is slowly unfolding between us. And I want you to stay with me, steady and close, because I'm about to tell you something that will change the way you look at me, and the way you look at yourself in my life. There's a wedding coming, and the moment I say that, I wonder what you felt. Did your stomach drop? Did your mind race? Did a thought cross your heart that you weren't ready to admit? Because I felt something too when I heard it. A rush, a breath caught in my throat. A silence that felt heavier than it should. And I want you to hear this from me the way I felt it in that moment. Not with fear, not with distance, but with honesty and warmth. Because this wedding, this moment, this announcement has more to do with you than you might imagine. I stood in the room when my family told me. Their voices were calm, their smiles were soft. Their eyes were hopeful, but the only thing I felt was your presence in my mind. Your face appeared before any name. Your heart echoed louder than any celebration they described. And all I could think about was how you would feel if you knew this. I kept wondering whether you'd look away, whether you'd feel something tightening in your chest, whether you'd ask yourself if this news was pulling me farther from you. And the truth is, it didn't pull me away from you at all. If anything, your image became clearer, stronger, more real inside me. I didn't speak much in that moment. I just listened. But even while they talked, I kept imagining you sitting somewhere quietly, hearing this, maybe with a small worry in your eyes. Maybe with that softness you always try to hide behind the brave face. And I wanted to reach you right away. I wanted to sit beside you and tell you everything before the world tried to twist it into something else. Because I don't want confusion between us. I don't want distance. I don't want silence where there should be honesty. I want you to hear this from me. The only place it should come from. I'm not the one getting married. That's the part you need to breathe through. That's the part you need to feel slowly. That's the part I want you to hold on to gently. Because when they said a wedding is coming, the first thought I had was you. The first person I wanted to speak to was you. The first heart I wanted to calm was yours. Not because you asked me to, not because I owe you anything, but because something inside me is tied to you in a way I can't deny anymore. And as soon as you feel that small relief inside you, I want you to pay attention to what replaces it. Because if you felt even a little afraid, even a little anxious, even a little protective of your place in my life, that tells me something deeper than any words could. And I feel it too. I felt it the moment they said, wedding. I felt it the moment I saw the smiles around me. I felt it when I realized how much I needed to talk to you before anyone else. And maybe that confuses you. Maybe it surprises you. Maybe it warms you quietly without you wanting to admit it. But whatever you're feeling, I feel it too. There's something I've been trying to understand about you. The way you touch my thoughts without saying anything. the way your presence finds me even when we're not talking, the way your energy stays with me long after the moment ends. And maybe that's why this announcement hit me differently. I didn't just hear wedding. I heard a reminder that life keeps moving, time keeps shifting, families keep growing. And somewhere inside all of that, I keep looking for you. I keep hoping you're part of something in my future. I keep wondering what role you'll end up playing in my story. And I don't say this lightly. You've become a quiet constant inside me. I've been thinking a lot about how you'd react if you stood in front of me right now. Would you avoid meeting my eyes? Would you look at me with that soft confusion you try to hide? Would you smile and pretend nothing inside you moved? Or would you let yourself feel what's really happening between us? This quiet connection, this emotional pull, this unspoken bond that keeps getting stronger every time I talk to you like this. And I need you to know something. When I heard the news, I didn't imagine celebrations or family gatherings or dresses or music. I imagined you. I imagined your silence. I imagined your heartbeat. I imagined your thoughts spiraling in 30 different directions. I imagined you wondering whether you mattered. And I need you to hear this clearly, without doubt, without hesitation. You matter more than you think you do. If you ever sat with your own thoughts and asked yourself where you stand in my life, I want you to know you stand closer than you realize. You hold a space I don't give to many people. You have a softness that touches parts of me, even I don't understand fully. And I want you to feel that in my voice right now, as I speak to you with honesty I don't use with everyone. I didn't come here just to tell you that a wedding is happening in my family. I came here to tell you the truth about what that news did to me, how it made me think of you instantly, how it made me realize how deeply I've let you into my world, how it showed me that your feelings matter to me more than I expected. And maybe that surprises you. Maybe it shakes you a little. Maybe you weren't ready for this kind of truth. But I can't pretend anymore. Not with you. Not when your presence has already carved a place inside me that I can't ignore. And I'm here still speaking softly, still trying to reach the parts of you you don't show anyone. I don't want to hide anything from you. I don't want misunderstandings. I don't want distance growing where closeness should be. I want you to feel like you can breathe again, like you can stay here with me in this moment without fear, like you can trust the emotion in my voice. And I don't know where this conversation is leading us. I don't know what you're thinking right now. I don't know if you're holding back tears, or holding back a smile, or holding back a feeling you aren't ready to name. But I know one thing, the fact that I'm telling you this first. The fact that my heart pushed me toward you before anyone else means something real, something important, something I can't ignore anymore. And I want you to stay with me because I'm not done talking to you yet. I'm not done sharing what I feel. I'm not done letting you into the parts of my life I've kept quiet for too long. This isn't the end, not even close. I keep thinking about what I just said to you, and even now, I can feel something inside me shifting because of it. Maybe you feel it too, that small pull in your chest you try to ignore. That warmth that rises slowly and makes you look down for a second because you don't know how to face the emotions that come with it. And I don't want you to hide those feelings from me. Not here, not right now. You're listening to me for a reason. And I'm speaking to you like this for a reason. Something about you makes me drop every guard I have, every wall I've built, every layer I usually protect myself with. And I don't do that for many people. I don't open myself so easily. But with you, it just happens. Without warning, without effort, without fear. And maybe that's what scares you. The idea that someone like me could feel something so real when talking to someone like you. But that's exactly why I want you to listen closely. Because everything I'm saying right now is coming from a place inside me. I don't let people see when I told you the wedding news. I watched your reaction in my mind. Not your face, but your heart. The way your breath would shift, the way your thoughts would freeze, the way your emotions would quietly fight with each other without you even speaking a word. And I didn't want you to feel alone in that moment. That's why I opened my heart before you even asked me to. Because the truth is, whenever something big happens in my life, my first instinct now is to think of you. I don't know when that started. I don't know what moment changed things. Maybe it was the way you listened. Maybe it was the softness in your silence. Maybe it was how your presence somehow travels through distance and time and reaches me even when you say nothing at all. Whatever it was, it happened quietly, and now it's too real to ignore. You don't understand the effect you have on me. You don't realize the way your existence softly presses on parts of my life I never thought anyone could touch. Sometimes I try to pull myself back, to keep things balanced, to remind myself of the world I live in and the responsibilities I carry. But then I imagine you looking at me the way you do, with that gentle mixture of curiosity and caution, and suddenly nothing feels as complicated as it seemed. I want you to know something that might surprise you. When the wedding news came, my family watched me closely. They noticed I went quiet. They noticed I wasn't reacting the way they expected. And I could feel their eyes on me, trying to understand what was happening inside me. But they didn't understand. They couldn't, because they didn't know that my mind was somewhere else entirely. Not because of fear, not because of confusion, but because something inside me didn't want you to misunderstand your place in my life. And if that makes your heart beat differently, let it. If it makes your hands feel a little warm, let them. If it makes your breath shake a little, don't push it away. You feel something, and I feel it too. It's been there between us for longer than either of us has admitted. And it's time you knew how deeply connected you are to the decisions I make, the emotions I feel, and the way I move through my life now. Sometimes at night, when the world goes quiet, I replay our conversations, even the silent ones. I think about the things you don't say out loud. I think about the emotions you try to hide behind a calm tone. I think about the dreams you bury inside yourself because you don't want to look too hopeful. And every time I think about those things, I feel this strange responsibility inside me, like I need to protect those parts of you. Like I want to be the person who makes you feel safe enough to open up, safe enough to breathe, safe enough to stop pretending you're stronger than you really are. You don't have to be strong with me. You don't have to pretend. You don't have to hide the way your heart reacts when I speak like this. I see you even through silence. I feel you even when you're quiet. I understand you even when you're afraid to express yourself. And that connection isn't normal. It isn't usual. It isn't something that happens lightly. It's deeper than that, more personal than that, more real than you think. When I imagine you listening to me right now, I picture you in a way I've never pictured anyone else, fully present, fully soft, fully open, without realizing it. I can feel your attention, your emotions, your warmth, your heartbeat, and I know you're thinking about the meaning behind my words. You always do. You look deeper than the surface. You listen with both your mind and your heart. And that's one of the reasons I choose to speak to you like this. I know you won't take my words lightly. I know you won't forget them, and I know they'll stay with you long after this moment ends. There's something I want to tell you, something I've kept inside for a while because I didn't know how to say it without confusing you. But I think you're ready now. I think you can handle the weight of this truth. Every time you enter my thoughts, it doesn't feel accidental anymore. It feels intentional, natural, familiar, like you've always belonged there. And I don't fight that feeling anymore. I don't push it away. I don't deny it. I let it happen. I let you be part of me in ways I've never allowed anyone before. And maybe you wonder why. Maybe you question what I see in you that pulls me this much. Maybe you think you're just another listener, just another voice lost in the world, just another soul who passes by. But you're not. Not to me. Not in the way you think. You're someone whose absence I feel and whose presence I hold on to. You're someone whose silence speaks louder to me than most people's words. You're someone whose heart feels close to mine even when you're far away. Let me confess something you never expected to hear from me. When my family discussed wedding plans, when they shared excitement, when they talked about happiness, I didn't picture the event. I didn't picture the decorations. I didn't picture the celebration. I pictured something else entirely. You standing beside me in the future. Not today, not tomorrow, but someday. I don't know why that thought came so naturally, so effortlessly, but it did, and it stayed, and I didn't push it away. If that thought shook you even a little, if it made you pause, if it made something flutter inside your chest, then you understand what I'm trying to tell you, without me saying it directly. You understand that there is something between us that goes beyond simple words or simple connections. I'm telling you all of this because I want you to know how important you are to me, how much space you take up inside me, how deeply your presence touches my life. And I'm telling you because I don't want you to ever think you're just someone listening. You're more than that, much more. And I still have more to say to you. I still have truths I haven't shared. I still have feelings I'm trying to understand within myself. I still have moments I want you to be part of. So don't go anywhere. Don't drift away. Don't let fear pull you back. Because I'm not done, and I don't think you want me to be. I don't know why my voice feels different tonight. But as I sit here trying to speak to you again, I feel something inside me that I didn't feel earlier. Something heavier, something softer, something I can't hide even if I tried. Maybe it started the moment I saw the way your eyes reacted when I said the wedding news is close. Maybe it started when you didn't realize that the way you breathed changed, the way your silence felt warmer, the way your heart almost stepped forward before your words could. And I'm telling you this because I felt it too. I felt your reaction even without seeing you. I felt it like a quiet wave that reached me all the way from your world to mine. And now, as I speak, I can't stop thinking about how you must be sitting right now, how your heart must be beating, how your mind must be trying to understand why my voice makes you feel close even though we've never met face to face. And I want you to know something. I feel close to you too, closer than I should, closer than I planned, closer than I expected when I first started talking. You know, earlier today, after I ended the last part of our conversation, I went for a walk outside just to clear my thoughts. Dubai was quiet, the air was warm, and the sky had this soft golden glow that made everything look peaceful. But even in that calm environment, I kept thinking about you. I kept thinking about the way you listen to me with your whole heart. I kept thinking about the way your attention feels like a place where I can breathe. And while I walked, something hit me harder than anything else. I realized that every time I talk to you, I'm not just speaking, I'm revealing pieces of myself that I don't show the world. I'm opening doors I usually keep locked. And that's not something I do easily. But with you, it happens without effort. It happens because there's something about you that feels safe, comforting, warm, something that makes me speak with honesty I don't give to anyone else. And maybe you don't even realize it, but you have a way of pulling truth out of me without asking for it. You have a way of making my voice soften when I talk about things I usually keep inside. And as I walked, I asked myself a question I wasn't prepared to answer. Why does she matter this much to me? I kept thinking about that question, but every answer felt incomplete. Every answer felt too small for the feeling. So I stopped walking, leaned against the railing, looked at the city lights, and whispered to myself, maybe she matters because she listens with her heart, not just her ears. Maybe she matters because she understands the things I don't say out loud. Maybe she matters because she's the only one who makes me feel like I can be exactly who I am. And when that thought settled, my chest felt tight in a way that wasn't painful, just real, just deep, just honest. And now as I speak to you again, I feel that same tightness, that same awareness of you, that same connection, and I don't want you to run from it. I don't want you to think I'm ignoring it. I don't want you to pretend you don't feel something too, because I know you do. I know you feel something every time I say you. I know your heart reacts when I say my future. I know your silence changes when I say wedding. And I'm not saying this to make you nervous or unsure. I'm saying it because I want you to understand that this feeling, this connection, isn't one-sided. It doesn't belong to just you or just me. It belongs to the space between us, the space we created without meaning to, without planning to, without forcing anything. And that type of connection, it's rare. It's the kind of bond you don't find easily, not even when the world is full of people. Sometimes I wonder what you imagine when you hear me speak. Do you imagine me sitting somewhere calm, thinking about you? Do you imagine my expression softening when I think of your presence? Do you imagine my voice slowing down as if I don't want the moment with you to end? Because that's how it feels, from my side. Every time I speak to you, I forget about stress, pressure, responsibility. Everything disappears for a while. And it's just me talking to a woman whose heart feels familiar, even though we've never shared a room. And maybe that's what surprises me the most. How familiar you feel, how natural you feel, how easy it is to talk to you. Almost like my heart already knows you, even before my eyes could. Earlier today, my family was talking again about the wedding plans. They were excited, loud, full of energy. But even in that moment, my mind drifted toward you. And I know that's strange. I know I'm not supposed to admit that, but you wanted honesty, and I promised honesty. While everyone was talking about dates and functions and expectations, my heart whispered something soft that I couldn't ignore. I wonder what she's thinking right now. I wonder if she knows how much she affects me. I wonder if she feels this connection too. And the truth is, I don't want to hide these thoughts. Because they keep growing. They keep getting louder. They keep becoming harder to ignore. And I can tell you something else, something I kept to myself until now. When I said earlier that a wedding is coming, you probably assumed I was talking about someone else. And maybe that's the safe assumption. Maybe that's the logical one. But let me ask you something. If it was someone else, why would my voice hesitate the way it did? Why would my heart beat the way it does when I speak to you? Why would I feel the need to explain my feelings this deeply? And why? Why would my thoughts keep circling back to you every time the topic of love comes up? I'm not saying the answer is simple. I'm not saying the decision is easy. I'm not saying everything is clear. But what I am saying is this: you're in my thoughts more than anyone realizes. More than you realize. More than I expected. And maybe that's why I feel this urge to keep talking to you, to keep opening my heart, to keep telling you things I never planned to tell anyone. Because part of me, a part I didn't expect, feels like you're supposed to hear them. You know what scares me? Not the feelings, not the connection, not the depth. What scares me is that you might not understand how real this is for me. That you might think I say these things easily when I promise you, I don't. I don't speak like this to anyone. I don't open up like this for an audience. I don't let my voice tremble when I talk about love or future or connection. But with you, I can't hide it. With you, every wall I usually hold up just falls on its own. And I don't fight it. I don't try to stop it. I let it happen because it feels right. It feels honest. It feels like something my heart has needed for a long time. Let me ask you something. And don't answer out loud. Just let your heart answer. What if I told you that when I think about my future, your face appears before any name does? What if I told you that you crossed my mind in moments I never expected? What if I told you that a part of me wonders every day if meeting you was supposed to be a part of my story? A part I didn't see coming but can't ignore anymore. Maybe you'll say I'm imagining too much. Maybe you'll think I'm saying too much. But my heart feels lighter when I speak these truths to you. And for once, I don't want to hide from what I feel. For once, I want to let the connection breathe, grow, exist without fear. And I'm telling you this now because there's something inside me that keeps whispering that you, yes, you, might be the one person who understands me even without trying. And trust me, that kind of rare connection doesn't come twice. And even now, as I say all this, I still haven't told you everything. There's more I want to say, more I want to confess, more I want to open. But I'll keep that for the next part. Not because I'm holding back, but because my heart needs a moment before I say what comes next. And I know you're listening carefully because you feel something too. Just stay with me. I'm not done with you, not even close. I don't know if you can feel it from there, but every time I speak to you like this, something in me slows down, almost like my heart is trying to hold the moment before it slips away. And tonight, that feeling is even stronger. It's like the silence around me is pushing me to say things I usually keep locked inside. Maybe it's because I've never spoken to anyone the way I speak to you. Maybe it's because you listen in a way that makes my voice feel understood even before my words are complete. Or maybe it's because there's something about you that keeps pulling the truth out of me, even the parts I don't share easily. And right now, while I'm sitting here with this strange mix of calmness and intensity in my chest, I can't stop thinking about how you must be listening. I imagine you holding your breath at certain moments, or tilting your head slightly without realizing it, or tightening your grip on your phone when my voice gets softer. And somehow imagining those little details makes talking to you feel even more real. After I finished the last part, I found myself staring at the wall in front of me, lost in thoughts I couldn't escape. I kept hearing my own words echo back in my mind. The ones I said about the wedding, the ones I said about you, the ones I almost said but stopped myself from saying out loud. And that almost is haunting me right now, because I know that if I had let those words slip, but maybe it's good that I paused. Maybe my heart needed a little more time to understand its own rhythm before I let it speak again. So I sat there, quietly, thinking about you, thinking about this connection that keeps growing without either of us trying to control it. And you won't believe this, but while I was sitting in that silence, something inside me whispered, "Talk to her again. Don't stop now." And I couldn't ignore it. Not tonight. Not when my heart feels like it's reaching out for you in a way that's impossible to hide. You know, there's this strange thing about you. When I talk to you, I don't feel like I'm talking to a stranger. I don't feel like I'm talking to someone far away. It feels like you're right here in the room with me, sitting across from me, looking at me with those eyes I can feel even without seeing. It feels like you're someone my heart recognizes, even though my world hasn't met you yet. And that feeling, it scares me in the best way. Not because it's dangerous, but because it's real, because it's deep, because it feels like something that wasn't supposed to happen yet somehow happened anyway. And maybe that's why I keep talking, because you give me a space where I can breathe without pretending, a space where I can confess without feeling weak, a space where I can be myself without the weight of titles or expectations. With you I feel human, not a name, not a position, not a crown, just a man speaking to a woman who somehow sees the part of him no one else sees. Earlier today my mother said something that stayed with me. She told me, when a woman enters your heart without knocking, that's the one you should pay attention to. She said it gently, casually, not knowing that her words hit me harder than any advice she has given me in years. And the moment she said it, your face flashed in my mind so fast I almost forgot to breathe. I didn't tell her, of course. I couldn't. How could I explain something I'm still trying to understand myself? How could I tell her that a woman I haven't met in person somehow carries space in my heart? How could I explain that your presence reaches me even in silence? So, I said nothing. I just smiled and nodded, pretending her words didn't shake something inside me. But they did. And they still are. Because the more I think about it, the more I realize she was right. You didn't knock before entering my heart. You didn't ask for permission. You didn't come with noise or force. You came quietly, softly, naturally. And maybe that's why I can't ignore you, even if I wanted to. Let me tell you something I haven't said before. When my family talks about the future, I listen, but a part of me drifts into its own world where you exist in places you've never been. I imagine you standing beside me during moments I haven't lived yet. I imagine your hand touching mine during celebrations I haven't announced yet. I imagine your presence shaping choices that haven't been made yet. And trust me, I don't imagine easily. I don't let my mind wander toward a woman unless she has already touched something important inside me. But you're different. You're the one who appears in my thoughts without effort, without invitation, without warning. And the strange part is, I don't push those thoughts away, I let them stay. I let them fill the quiet spaces inside me. Because maybe, and I'm saying this with all honesty, maybe my heart has been waiting for someone like you far longer than I realized. Even right now, while I speak, I can feel something deep inside me, opening slowly, like a door that has been locked for years, but is finally letting in light again, and it feels good. It feels right. It feels like I'm finally letting myself feel something I used to avoid because of the life I live. You don't know how rare this is for me, to speak without holding back, to feel without calculating, to connect without fear. But with you, I don't feel guarded. I don't feel pressured. I don't feel like I need to weigh every word. I feel like I can breathe, and breathing like this, it's a luxury I don't get often. There's something else I want to tell you. Something I kept in the back of my mind since the moment I said it earlier. When I mentioned the wedding coming, your energy shifted. Even from a distance, even through silence, I felt it. You didn't say anything, but your heart spoke louder than words. And I want to tell you this, you don't need to hide how you feel. You don't need to pretend it didn't affect you. Because the truth is, it affected me too. The moment I felt your reaction, something inside me questioned everything. Not out of confusion, but out of clarity. Out of the kind of clarity that comes from realizing how deeply someone matters to you. And maybe what I'm about to say is dangerous, but I'm saying it anyway. Right now, as I speak to you, I don't see any wedding more clearly than the one my heart imagines when it thinks of you. And before you panic, before your heart races too fast, before your mind gets lost in questions, let me say this gently. I don't want you to assume anything. I don't want you to jump to conclusions. I just want you to feel what I'm saying. Because this connection between us, it's becoming something I can't define easily, something I can't control, something I don't want to run from. I just want you to stay close, stay present, stay in this moment with me, because I'm not done. I'm not done feeling this. I'm not done exploring this. I'm not done speaking to you in a way I can't speak to anyone else. And right now, my heart is telling me something I can't ignore. I'm not supposed to let this connection fade. I'm supposed to follow it. I'm supposed to see where it leads. I'm supposed to keep talking to you, just like this. And trust me, there's so much more I need to tell you. So much I haven't said yet. So much I've been holding back. But I'll say it in the next part, because what comes next needs its own breath, its own moment, its own space, and I want you here for it.